Good afternoon. You're watching Business World Live. I'm Jes Delos Santos. Let's take a look at how the local bourse closed today, Thursday. All right, second day in the red here for the main index. Bulls took profit yet again as shares closed lower by 0.6% to 7,331. Foreign investors also turned sellers, halting 5 days of buying, with sales at $15.1 million. Now, over an 8-day period, though, the bellwether still pulled off a 4% run here, outperforming its Asian peers, all thanks to lower infections, easing mobility curbs, and stronger than expected growth in the third quarter. Claire Alviar of Philstock saying that sentiment is bullish over chances of further reopening and spending also picking up due to the holidays. She sees the benchmark rising 5% to 7,680. But still, the big news here, at least for the equity space today, our top gainer, you have Converge after it more than doubled its earnings for the first 9 months of the year. Net income, look at that, a whopping 137% increase to 5.2 billion pesos, with revenue increasing by as much as 76% as well to 18.8 billion pesos. This is revenue from the residential business soared 95%, with 1.5 million residential subscribers in its network by the end of the third quarter. The enterprise unit likewise rising 8.5% year on year. The fixed broadband provider is setting its sights on reaching 55% of households by 2023 from its previous goal of 2025. Now, CEO Dennis Uy says demand is really there as more bandwidth was consumed at home for work, school, and entertainment. As you can see right here, investors really picking up on Converge here, up by 3.25% to 35 pesos a piece. All right, bullish targets there for Converge as it posted what is safe to say stellar figures for the first 9 months of 2021. To find out more what's in the pipeline for the broadband operator, we have on the show Converge CEO and founder Dennis Anthony Uy. Good afternoon, Sir Dennis.
Good afternoon, Jess.
Okay, so looking at your first 9 months here for 2021, really residential segment coming out strong here. There were gains, of course, also in the enterprise unit, growing 8.5%. But still, some catching up to do here. How do you plan to ramp up the segment?
The residential this third quarter, I think, is one of the highest record-breaking quarter for us, no? Especially we grew at 220,000 net subscribers and gross of 280,000 net gross, no? So in terms of enterprise segment, we are really because of the an easy little bit of our business now is especially this is COVID situation, and we have better open up businesses, and we showed the strong rebound of we have in this third quarter alone of the business. I think we grew almost 18% for the business, but the entire year we grew 8.5% year to year.
But by how much do you see, at least for the full year, by how much do you see the enterprise segment catching up, especially now you have the economy further reopening?
I think when the especially in the enterprise, we will have very promising because the footprint of our network is covering now, besides Mindanao, is more attractive for this enterprise business and wholesale in that area. And those who have multi-branches business, like banking industry or this multi-branches of chain of stores, the business coming back. I think we will grow hopefully at least 10% of the year or year on year by end of the year. Yeah.
Now, for the residential segment, like what you mentioned, much of the focus is in the Visayas and in Mindanao areas. How about for Luzon? What are the targets here?
The consumer segment is really lag behind among the Asian peers. If you're talking about Philippines alone, we are not even 20% of household connected in fiber throughout the improved market. Even Metro Manila, we are not even covered 30% or 40% of our home penetration yet. No, that's why we have a go nation and go deep strategy to whole country to able to provide a stable and reliable internet to our consumer public. No? So especially besides Mindanao, just new build, we have a good momentum. And in
Mhm.
fact, Cebu and Davao and Cagayan de Oro, we just opened up these few months. And we feel the consumer are really looking a better quality of service in terms of the broadband. Yeah.
Okay, now how are things looking up for the remainder of the year for the company as a whole? What are your targets and how likely are you to hit those targets?
For the target, this year, we are pretty sure with whatever we promise to the investor, we pretty sure we make it. In fact, the commitment of the whole year is 1.6 something. In the 9 months of performance of our company, we hit already the whole year. No? So we still have 3 months. I think this is a addition to what our promise to the investors.
Okay, now is the further reopening of the economy going to spell a possible slowdown in growth, especially for the residential segment? I mean, a lot of offices and schools will be finally returning on site.
I think the digital space, especially before the pandemic, this is our plan, rolling out the new technology to the individual consumer. And
Mhm.
because of the pandemic, push us faster. But end of the day, our penetration to the home is still very low. And I pretty sure the growth is still there. No, even after the open up and ECA, even the school coming back, they need our Filipino consumer really looking a stable and better connection compare, and especially this new technology fiber rolling out to entire consumer. No.
Okay, now you're also looking at partnering with other satellite providers such as SpaceX to complement your network. How's that coming along?
The SpaceX is just only a name with there, no? But the technology of this satellite, so many provider now, not just him, and we are ready to accommodate everyone, no, not just SpaceX. In fact, in our internal satellite, we just have starting build out our Earth station in Pampanga, and we will able to deliver by February of 2,000 public school, those who cannot reachable by any communication, and we will put this e-education to individual school. This is the internal setup of Converge. No? So we have also partnering with other satellite provider, and in due time, once this SpaceX is final conclude, we will let you know. We don't have a final agreement yet on this.
So nothing concrete just yet regarding SpaceX for now. Do you have
Not
a specific
not yet
timeline, please?
not concrete yet, but the technical study is still ongoing. Yeah.
Okay, technical studies ongoing at least on that front. Now, of course, other exciting news here for Converge throughout the year. We've seen the stock be included in other financial markets. Should we be expecting more surprises here?
Yes, especially we have put more added value added on the future. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So no specific details yet, no other plans yet for now.
No, no, we don't have yet.
All right. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Again, Converge founder and CEO Dennis Anthony Oy. Thank you so much, Sir Dennis.
Thank you, Chris.
Now, here are other companies reporting their latest performance. Emperador says its net profit normalized in the 9 months to September, climbing 35% to 7.9 billion pesos. The 9 month net income alone already matched 2020's full year earnings of 8 billion pesos. Emperador also posted an 11% growth in revenues to 38 billion pesos. That's from January to September. Now, the company attributes this to the continuous growth of its brandy business, led by Fundador in countries like the UK, the US, Canada, Spain, and Mexico. Now, the firm says its whiskey business also continues to pay strongly in North America, Europe, as well as in Asian countries led by China. Emperador President Winston Koh says they are confident that 2021 will be another banner year for the brand as economies open up further. Now, moving on to another Megaworld subsidiary, Global Estate Resorts, or Jerry, reported a 22% increase in its net income in the third quarter. That's on the back of higher real estate sales and hotel revenues. Profits grew to over 200 million pesos in the July to September period, while consolidated revenues reached 1.1 billion pesos. However, Jerry's 9-month performance remained almost flat, down 5% to 850 million pesos due to subdued consumer sentiment as well as strict travel restrictions during the period. Still, an increase in construction activities from July to September brought the firm's its real estate sales up 16% and hotel revenue soaring more than 300%. Company President Monica Salomon says the company also continues to see strong demand for their property offerings outside Metro Manila. Salomon says the sustained reopening of the economy will also help the firm's leasing and hospitality segments to recover this fourth quarter. Here are other headlines we're keeping our eyes on. China's Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB, is assessing a proposed $250 million loan to support the Philippines' vaccine procurement. AIIB said the Philippines' project for the procurement of more vaccines will be under the COVID-19 Crisis Recovery Facility. The total project cost of more than $550 million is expected to be co-financed by the Asian Development Bank and its own $250 million loan. The Philippine government will meanwhile cover the rest of the funds. The appraisal decision for the loan will be done this month, while the estimated date for approval of financing is expected this fourth quarter. The Energy Department has outlined its envisioned path towards a sustainable energy future at the ongoing 26th UN Climate Change Conference of the Parties, or COP26, held in Glasgow, Scotland. Now, Undersecretary Felix William Fuentebella says the agency is aiming for a clean energy scenario where the country's power generation and energy mixes would shift from being dominated by oil and coal to one featuring clean energy resources and technologies. The Philippines is eyeing to have a 50% renewable energy share in its power generation mix by 2040. Meanwhile, the DFA confirms that the country has formally committed to reverse forest loss and land degradation by 2030 under the Glasgow Leaders' Declaration. In a letter, President Duterte told UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson that the action areas expressed in the Leaders' Declaration are consistent with the targets and goals of the Philippines in attaining sustainable forest management. And those are the biggest stories this trading day, November 11, 2021. Catch Business World live again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for the market open and 3:15 p.m. for the market close. I'm Jes Delos Santos, and we are One News. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines.